Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with the American Civil War mod. So, it's time for us to move in and retake St. Louis. It's turning out to be quite the disaster actually, that we lost it. Given how many troops they're recruiting from there, sending all over the place. They've got an army here sent up to even possibly threaten Chicago. So I've turned Beauregard around, and he definitely will be able to smash through here as the air is not clever enough to consolidate in the apparent threat that he poses. But there's also some other problems with that, with Beauregard leaving these regions. Leaves them open, and without garrison they become rather unhappy. And a rebel force have sprung up in Ohio, so we've got troops rallying around the flag, ready to oust the Confederates out of Ohio. So there's a troop here under Winfield Hancock, ready to do that. On the other hand, Jackson is just about to reach the outskirts of New York, and hopefully be able to jump rather quickly onto Rochester, central New York. Currently, the enemy's capital is Albany, East New York, where they have a military governance. And hopefully, Lee will be able to move his army further north rather soon. However, given that there's so many troops all over the place, I'm wondering if it would be beneficial to actually have a truce with the US just for a few turns. It would force all their troops to be bunched up here in the north. It would be easier then to kill them, and we would have a big spectacular battle to fight, rather than fighting all these small annoying forces moving around all over the place. So even though the border goes through here, they clearly hold the most sort of north western part of Pennsylvania, and also in a bit on Maryland, where they control just by the presence of their troops. But with that said, I think we'll go ahead and play today's battle. Also, yeah, I should mention we have continued. Hood is continuing marching, and he should be able to hopefully strike Sioux Falls within 2 turns. And we're wrapping up the campaign on this side. But for this episode, we're gonna fight this battle. So Longstreet with the Stonewall Brigade is ready to take on Grant and Meade and the Pennsylvania Bucktails. So without further ado, I think we'll let Longstreet, I believe, yes, Longstreet, go ahead and strike his foe and push them out of Mississippi. We start off on the high ground with the Union actually moving to dislodge us from our position. I guess they realized with the fact that I've got my artillery, they're gonna have to come to me if they expect to win the battle, since we have unlimited supply of cannonballs. And it looks like they're sending, well, it's regiment of foot and the volunteers plus the cavalry. But the Bucktails are entrenched behind the position over here. Right. I guess we'll start off by destroying. You know what? Oh, hold your fire. I want you guys to instead fire as they get closer. I'll order, however, the cannons to open fire. Okay, so they're charging in, they're coming in from the flank. They're riding ahead of our force, Ooh, we almost... Yeah, we blew a few of our own there. The artillery will hold its fire. But they did actually manage to reach and fight. But it looks as though the cavalry will not be able to break through. But damn, that was bad. Obviously we don't want bloody Union cavalry right in our midst. We're not losing that many men as of yet, but there's still a lot of Union cavalry over there. I'll try to give a controlled volley by the volunteers to break them. Some General Meade decides to charge this part of the brigade straight on. Open up on the Union volunteers. And I'm not entirely sure why my men have let these guys march straight into bayonet range. Not that I think that the militia unit will do too well fighting against the Stonewall Brigade. Right. Give them one good fire and that should hopefully be enough to break them. Almost lost 100 men. Almost lost 100 men out of this regiment in the brigade. Wheel and keep firing on the cavalry. At the same time, this regiment sent off the militia force, and it looks like the Bucktails are on the move. They realize that sitting back is not really what's going to give them victory in this battle. This unit has lost a surprisingly high amount of troops compared to what these guys have lost. I think we'll... oh, the artillery's under attack? Oh no, bullets are just... I guess bullets are whizzing past these guys and hitting the artillery. The Pennsylvania Bucktails, I imagine they're gonna cause quite a bit of damage on us. We'll turn the tide over there. I think it's time that we mobilized the volunteers. I think even with me using the artillery right now, it's going to be difficult to kill off these guys. I mean, even though we have a defensive position here, they haven't actually killed that many of the Pennsylvania Bucktail. Looks like Grant is moving in for a flank attack, which seems rather odd. Move into line and we'll send you in on the flank. Well, we're clearly turning the tide against this unit right now. Oh shit! How are you guys losing so many to the bloody Bucktails? And why are you not firing back at them? Maybe that's why you're not being able to... Shit, these guys are losing tons of men here. But then again, if you go by... what's it called? War of Rights, they are equipped with that repeater rifle, which would make them a rather dangerous unit. You will fire that unit, and now you guys will run back into position. And we'll hope we're able to break them. General dies, so the volunteers over here shot down... who was it? Grant? The volunteers need to come out here among the trees and aid to shoot down the bucktails. I want to almost say the ducktails. Even though we're in entrenched position, we're not doing that well, or the Stonewall Brigade. They do have 50 accuracy though, so I'm not entirely sure what's this all about. Oh, we're getting hit now. Hold! This one will, however, continue. Wheel and fire. Oh, they're advancing towards us. They were dealt with. Start marching towards the bucktails. Or the ducktails. I guess we're not going to waste ammo on the retreating troops. Switch the artillery to fire on the retreating troops. Make sure they do not come back. The bucktails clearly just massacre everyone they come up against. I don't think we actually want to go any closer. So hold there and prepare to fire. While you will move in here. Battalion forward! And open fire from that position. They are almost surrounded at all sides at this point. You know what? You will come out of your position, move here and open fire. These guys are back. I've ordered the artillery to open fire on them though, so they probably are not long for this world. Lots of flanking fire coming in here on the bucktails. And it's so much fire at this point. They're just reorganizing constantly. They're wavering and they're broken. We are victorious. However, it's best to let the battle go for a bit and shoot them as they retreat, to make sure that we get rid of as many of them as possible. But with that said, let's go back to the campaign map and take a look at the statistics and the results of the battle. And here we have the results. 300, almost 400 of their troops remaining, which is very poorly done actually by me to leave so many behind, but I didn't have any cavalry to chase them down. So that's a part of the problem, and I lost way too many out of the Stonewall Brigade. However, they did gain good chevrons. The Stonewall Brigades performed the best, but they also lost the most. Not very good, but then again they came up against crack troops, the Pennsylvania Bucktails. Make ready. And unfortunately, I do not have enough movements to chase them down. It's going to cost me 2,000 to replenish these. They possibly have got some extra troops to call upon here. Cavalry. Union Lightning Brigade could be brought down, as well as the 56th Regiment. And I can't really call on anything at this point. I am, however, recruiting Hood's Texans. That is going to join here, so we get as many elite troops going this way as possible. So these guys have 55 accuracy, which is pretty good compared that a regular unit has 46. and these regulars for the Union has 40. So that's pretty bloody good. With that said, however, we're not going to get another battle in. So, you know what? I think we'll end it here. And next time, we could see us fighting again. We could see us fighting a losing battle against the rebels here in Ohio. That's going to be a difficult one to try and hold on to Ohio. Or possibly an attack on Sioux Falls. But with that said, I hope you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!